all tied up. If this first set is dead even.
Unbelievable combination.
Wow.
Beautifully done.
What a great spot.
Hello and welcome to the 2025-26 APTA Tour. We're live from the Rolling Hills Country Club in Wilton, Connecticut, bringing you the 2026 Fairfield Open, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership and our tour presenting sponsor, Corient. Tournament support has also been provided by the following local tournament sponsors: the Cocktail Collection, Open, Pour, and Serve, Fairfield County Women's Platform Tennis League, Fairfield County Men's Platform Tennis League, Rolling Hills Paddle Ladies, Voyage Group at Wells Fargo Advisors, Connecticut Dermatology Group, FX Air, Trivium, Connecticut GI, M4 Paddle, Xenon Paddle, and Bar Taco. I'm Mike Rowley alongside Brad Easterbrook, bringing you the semifinal match between Ethan Leone and Matt Muoio versus Tomas Christian and Mick Irdoja. Brad, welcome to the booth.
Well, thank you, Mike. This is a great matchup here. Leone Muoio. Leone just won the last tournament right before the Long Island Invitational with Louis Vauclair, and he's playing with Matt Muoio out there, who's his regular partner, and they're facing off. So we'll do a quick look at the players on the court. And at the top left of your screen, we got Mick Irdoja. Great to see him back out here, and I hear he's going to play the rest of the season, so that's phenomenal to see. Former national champion. His partner in the all black at the top right of your screen, and that's Tomas Christian. Bottom of your screen, bottom right, Matt Muoio and his partner Ethan Leone. And this should be a great matchup. Our two seeds against an unseeded team of Christian and Irdoja. But when I looked at the draw, this is a fun draw because it's got a lot of different partnerships out there, you know, Mike. And I thought to myself, you know, Christian and Irdoja, that's one of the best teams in this draw. They could easily win this thing. I mean, Mick Irdoja hasn't played much in the last couple of years, but he's still one of the best players in the game. I put him top 3 or 4. His forehand's basically automatic. He's got rollers, he's got cut. He can pretty much do everything out there. Tomas Christian's super steady, good forehand. So this is a great match. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And, you know, against up-and-comers Ethan Leone and Matt Muoio.
Yeah, and I think, you know, they're no longer, Leone and Muoio are no longer up-and-comers. I say
they've arrived?
That they've yeah, they've really, you know, they had a decent run out, great run out in the charities. I think, you know, I got to watch them play out here in Chicago. And, you know, and Tomas Christian, I think, you know, you talked about Mick, but Tomas Christian is just so solid. He can play kind of the slow it down, but he also can play the fast game as well. So I'm looking forward to this match. You know, we see the our chair umpire, Carol Everton, up in the chair. She got up there without a hitch.
Yeah, and it's cold out there.
Well, they're earning their money today in the chair.
They certainly are. And, you know, it's going to be a great matchup out here today. You can see already, even in the warm-up here, Matt Muoio will use like an underhand push serve. So we'll see. He just pushes it and comes in. He keeps it low and trusts in his volleys. You know, the concern with that one is whether they drill it right at the net man or not, but it's been effective. I haven't seen too many people hurt him that badly with it. Leone has got a fantastic back. He really has it all. You know, fantastic backhand. He's got a good forehand. Backhand is very slippery, meaning it's so short. You'll also find that they play kind of a fun game, meaning in the middle of a point, they might just throw in a, you know, cut high overhead and spin it back. So they keep transition working. This should be just a great matchup.
Yeah, and you know, you see with Muoio, he's got also that cut. It's like a cut lob.
Yeah.
Where you know, I think the first time I saw it, I was like, wait, did I just see that? So.
Yeah, he's trying to come right underneath the ball, and he cuts it, but he hits it really high in the air, so it's got to land close to the net, but if it does, it'll spin back over the net. The issue with it, you know, at least in the last match I saw, it was not effective for them. He lost more points than he won. But we'll see. I mean, they're still playing an exciting brand and fun, so looking forward to it. Like we said, Christian and Irdoja, you know, we lost other teams in the draw too. It's great to see Hughes and Powers back out there, sort of a little reunion. I know it was great for them. They just lost to Leon and Muoio in the quarterfinals, you know, and so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think, you know, the with that spin, you know, in the colder temperatures, the spin doesn't seem to react as violently, and you know, so some of those kind of big major cuts, to your point, it kind of loses some of its effectiveness, and you'll be, yeah, I can't wait for this to get started. And we are about to kick off our tournament format. We're playing 2 out of 3 sets, no ad scoring. No ad being a receiver's choice. I'm sorry, server's choice, right?
Server's choice, yep.
Yeah. And this is, you know, the first time that we've been back in the booth after our 5+ hour national final last year. And that was one of the reasons why they're kind of going to a little bit more of abbreviated format.
Yeah, it's been great, I think, the format. There hasn't been a single complaint about it. It forces the action a little. It doesn't allow you to slow it down consistently ball after ball, or you only get one chance, whereas in a game where it's going to go back to deuce and back to deuce, you could conceivably hit 20 points in a row with 100 lobs, right? Here you only get one, and so it forces things to change, and it also changes the mentality of the game a little bit. Let's see if this affects anything. Well, it affects every game right now, and we're going to have stats by court director that we're going to bring up all the time out here, and you'll see the team that wins more of these 3-all or no-ad games frequently wins the match, almost exclusively. It's like a turnover battle, say, in football. The team that wins the turnover battle wins probably 80% of the games. All right. So again, out there really quickly, bottom of your screen in the blue, that's Ethan Leon, his partner Matt Muoio, who also leads the league in paddle flips. He's loose out there. He's flipping the paddle in between points sometimes. Looks like we hear Carol Everton, but Mike there. Looks like Ethan Leon starting us off. And here we are, Mike. We're underway. Ethan Leon to serve. First point. Now, of course, right off the bat, it starts with a Irdoja forehand. His forehand is one of the most automatic ones in the game. And when he was playing, he just doesn't miss it much. And he can hit it with power and accuracy. Thomas Christian, you were saying before, he's so solid, and he is. He's also like a Swiss Army knife. Like, some players play well with a certain type of partner. Thomas Christian plays well with all partners.
And he can adjust his style to you know, play with different style players as well. That's what you mean by Swiss Army,
yes,
right?
That's exactly what I mean.
He can do a lot.
Yes, he can play well with any partner, and he can adapt his style to be more of one way or another. Right in there.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, if you hit that hard down the center, they're going to have to stay away from this. There's a slap shot from Leon.
That was insane.
That was slippery. Hard to see it, but easily gotten. And right now, Muoio and Leon they're not really locking down the net. When these guys are taking a strike, they're actually just allowing it to go through. They're not like plugging up the middle. And so far, 3 points in a row here for Christian and Irdoja. But they're also giving him a couple of looks, like hard off those middle 3 panels.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be tough. It's not going to serve him well overall. All right, see, Leon just kind of a little kink in his ankle or something. Have they even attempted yet, Mike, to volley a single ball? Now that one's out, so smart move there to let it go. But they haven't attempted to actually volley one of the drives yet. All right, it's a great start
Yeah.
there for Christian Irdoja, Mike.
Well, you know, you can't win them all if you don't win the first. So, you know, I look forward to seeing what the scheme for both teams is up at the net. You know, and you know, when we have Christian and Irdoja up at the net, how much do they avoid?
Yeah, it's a great point. And you're
It's
saying
tough to say through that first game how, you know, Muoio and Leon were what their kind of scheme is going to be, but it was a short and brief. But they hit, I think, 2 balls right to Mick's forehand off the screen hard, and he hammered it and made him pay.
Yeah, they're going to take that away hopefully very soon, and if they don't, I don't expect they'll have a chance to win this match. The difference is really in terms of teams, it is, now Muoio can do offense, but it's more slippery offense. Like his forehand, he doesn't really hit a top spin, it's flat. You're going to see there's just the howitzer forehand. You see a more balanced offense from Irdoja and Christian. Nice point there from Leon and Muoio. And Muoio's going to do more of the setups. He can hit a high screen drive with the forehand. He'll sort of hit these 3/4 drives, trying to set it up beautiful to serve right into the crease there. He's going to have to read that angle, and Irdoja will do that. Will not be the first one he hits right at that crease. And Leon's going to have to start blocking those at the very least. Have to drive him, but you can't let it go in there when it's got that angle on it.
And Muoio, boy, I was impressed in watching him play throughout this first half of the season, how well he closes from the baseline, kind of, and loves to get in those hand-to-hand exchanges. Boy, and you see that lefty cutter from Irdoja.
Yeah,
That thing was filthy.
It was very filthy, and it might have even hit the seam there, but it certainly fooled Leon, who ended up trying to hit it between his legs. And that is another seam, I'm guessing, because the ball came on top of his head. And of course, if we're talking about the seam, it's hitting where the wires are all curled up. So 2-love now for Christian Irdoja, and when it hits there, it can just move any direction, really. Even the pros get fooled by those. See, that's
that was my question. You know, that I wanted answered is, what do they do with that underhand serve? I know what, you know, doesn't surprise me that they hit the return right at the net player. But Muoio says, bring it on.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. They went in 2 tries. One they got, one they didn't get. Either way, you can see they literally, you know, when Irdoja's hit his forehand, he's hit it through almost every single time, except for the one before where he drew the error, right, where he drew the error. It's beautiful, and you see, you know, Christian and Irdoja moving seamlessly up at the net. And I don't know that they've played a ton together, but it looks like they have.
But I think part of that goes into, wow, nice shot there, drive off the screen from Irdoja. You know, part of that goes into, you know, that's such a high level play that the two, you know, you can get 2 players that may not have a ton of experience together, but if they talk about kind of what their plans are, and they basically play with discipline like they play with, regardless of the partner, you get almost this interchangeable parts that once they get through their kind of styles and you know, they're still doing the same things on the court, right?
Yeah, you know what to expect from your opponent. Like there, you could easily see in the point before, like Christian actually closed on the net. Irdoja knew he was doing it, so he went behind and just fielded the ball behind him, and it's great because that's a key component. Teamwork is such a big part of the game. All right, so another point here for a 3-love lead for Christian and Irdoja. What I love about Muoio and Leon too is they seem to just play with kind of, it's like they're just feeling it out, like, and they don't seem stressed by any moments, right? They just are working their way into it. Nothing seems to bother them, but then they're going to try and find a little gear. Right now, though, Christian and Irdoja have been, I mean, how many drives have they missed? I don't think they've missed maybe 1, and they're just firing on all cylinders. Now, that said, Leon and Muoio gave them a few of them. They're going to have to take those off the table, and they're going to have to lock down the net. You know, so far in the games, we haven't seen Christian and Irdoja miss a volley yet. And we've had 5 or 6 misses on volleys from Muoio and Leon. That was long.
You know, if you were coaching the team of Leon and Muoio right now, what would you, if you called a timeout, they're down love 3, what's your advice?
I mean, my advice,
stop the slide.
Yeah, my advice to them is they have to either lock down the net or give it up more. Meaning it's one or the other, right? And then and then the third thing they're going to try to do is basically, as much as possible, you're going to want Christian to be hitting backhand. So any overhead you get that you can get deep into the back screen, you know, into that side screen on the ad side, play it there. He's not going to miss, but play it there. And then also take the pace off the ball that you're going to hit and feed it a little more to Christian if you can, so you have time to lock down the net a little, just to start, I mean, at this point. And get the pace to be where you want it. That's a phenomenal drive, and we're going to see that. I mean, Leon has a ton of offense. So 2 break points here. And there's a good, they needed that. A little gift game there from Christian with 3 faults, and then a blistering drive there from Leon. He's taking a practice serve here.
So we had a ball that left the court. Basically starting with a fresh ball. Yeah, it'll be interesting right now. I think this is where we've got to keep the ball. Leon and Muoio's got to keep the ball off of Irdoja's forehand.
Yeah, you got to play the ball to the sides against these guys. The ball should really not go to the middle much at all. That's it, right there, right at the crease too. That's a great shot. Now they're playing to the edges a little better. That's still not bad. If you keep it slow enough, you know, Christian's a really good player, and he can hit a big forehand, but he doesn't have that sort of explosive power that's really quick. So if you hit it slow to him, you got a chance. You don't want to hit it too hard off the screen. You don't want to give him pace to work with. Irdoja is another matter. You just don't want to give him anything in the middle. See, that ball's just a float to the middle, even though it was deep. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's tattooing it.
Shows you how talented he is.
Got us. Yep, that's well played. And that's the #1 offensive option for Muoio. You hit it hard on the screen against him. That's a beauty right there from Leon. Muoio hammers a hard, flat forehand down. Good point. Great shot. And for me, Mike, like oftentimes in a match doesn't really start till the other team wins that first game. It's like, now you can breathe a little, take it easy. You know, they lost the first 3, but it doesn't matter. They can come right back here. Again, ball down the middle, hammered by Irdoja. Yeah, that's the one there. You cannot leave anything hanging in the middle. Just keep the ball to the sides. Great lob. Now you notice neither Christian nor Irdoja try to go in there, Mike, because they know it's too hot off the screen. No point in challenging the drive coming in.
As we kind of look at the 4 players, this is kind of what I'd say very typical in today's game. We've got 4 teaching pros, you know, that are all, I mean, what percentage of the game today do you think is professionals?
I would probably
as
say
opposed
95.
to kind of the average. Is it about 95?
I don't know, you know, I'd have to look at it, but I would think, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say 90%,
Yeah.
85%. I mean, Ethan Leon is the director of paddle at Waynesboro Country Club. Matt Muoio's the Rattler Run Country Club adult rackets professional. Tomas Christian is Swanee
Saiwana,
Country
yeah.
Club. Saiwana. And then Montclair Golf Club for Irdoja.
Great positioning there from Christian. And Leon, he hits a howitzer forehand, but it's just not wise because Christian's right there. He just volleys it right back. He can't miss it. He volleys it down hard and offensively. As good as that forehand was, didn't help him.
It's a good lesson at every level, you know, not just the top level. If you don't have a place to hit that forehand to play her off the net, you know,
it's not worth it.
It's coming back, and if not, you know, it might negatively affect your standing in the point.
Yeah, I like that ball there. Like, slow it down or get it to the sides. If Irdoja is hitting a ball from the center, and don't hit it too hard, too medium. It's hard to say because, like, there's so many weapons over there. Ooh, that's the first forehand I think that Irdoja has missed. 30 all. All right, so this, if they win this point, would be our first no-ad point if Leon and Muoio can win this. So far, we've had none, and we still have none. 4-1 now, Christian Irdoja. It's time to talk about one of our great sponsors, Mike.
Okay, Corient is the official well sponsor of the APTA's 2025-26 season. Corient is a fee-only wealth manager who puts their clients at the center of everything they do. Learn more at corient.com.
Impressive,
you know,
first
as they
5
switch
games.
here, yeah, that was quick. You know, our co-tournament directors, Jeff Kong and the great Macy Elliott, have done just an absolute bang-up job. I was talking earlier with Patty Hogan, and she said they have over 350 players participating in 12 separate draws.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's been well supported by the Fairfield County, you know, leagues on the men's and women's side. And you're right, the amount of draws when you look it up, it's absolutely phenomenal. You go in there and it's women's tour, women's challenger, PTI, women's PTI red, women's PTI yellow, men's tour, challenger 1, challenger 2, and then there's 5 different PTI tournaments for the men. So it is just, it's almost like the entire Fairfield County League got out there in all those PTI events and are participating out there. And I'm here at the Fairfield Open, and they've done a phenomenal job. They got a tent in there with a really popular local band, Tangled Vine, playing some great tunes, terrific bar, barbecue, the whole works. Great way to start
yeah,
the
and
new
I think
year.
one of their goals was to raise the experience for the fan as well as for the players, and by the sounds of it, they're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, they did as well last year. I mean, oh, look at this. Smart move there from Muoio to just lob that. Ball's way under the net. He's got nothing offensive he can hit. Right at the crease. He's got really good rollers at the crease. Goes Irdoja. Once again, I'm Brad Easterbrook with Mike Raleigh. And a tricky little slap backhand. I don't mind you playing a shot like that, but I think you got to follow it up with a move to the net. Otherwise, what's the point of hitting it? I don't think the guy's going to miss the next ball.
You know, I think one of the things that the intent of that drive from Muoio off the screen was it accomplished exactly, I think, what they're looking to do. Is his drive sets up Leon's kind of offense in the center of the court, and you know, I bet that happens another dozen to 15 times.
Ball was long. Yeah, oh no, it's going to happen all the time. Yeah, Muoio, unless you give him a high ball off the screen, he really relies more on sort of like a probing kind of quick drive. And what he's trying to do is just get a volley to go up, and then as soon as it does, and anything that's hanging a little bit, it allows Ethan Leon to move to the center and start to attack. And Leon has a great forehand, but his backhand's actually probably better than his forehand. Yeah, this is you're watching Irdoja just go to work, and you can see Christian get out of his way, and beautifully done. 5-1.
I think this is an important time for both teams. You know, that 5-1 lead or the 5-1 deficit. You know, we've all been there where we've lost the lead or come back from a 5-1 hole.
Yeah, and I think Leon and Muoio have to, it's just wide. They're just making too many mistakes, and they've got to get more precise, right? This isn't a game they can just like, I'm going to hit a ball and I'm going to hit a drive. It's got to be a lot more, okay, he's on the net, I'm not hitting this drive. I'm going to hit a lob. You can see in the play, it's hard to quantify it. Maybe court director stats will show a little bit of, but it's, you know, we don't have the stats for, like, you can watch when they're driving it, you see Christian get out of the way, and then as soon as it's in the middle, it's all Irdoja just ripping it with a forehand and forcing the play. And when it's not, they're hitting spotted lobs to another place that sets it up again. It's a little more precise out of Christian and Irdoja, really, more than anything else. And, you know, Muoio and Leon, it's a little more like we can hit any shot at any time. And I think for them, ooh, that's 2 good misses. We have our first no-ad game point. So here they elect to go to Tomas Christian, who tried to hit a dink before, a little off-base drive. So they get from 40-15 to deuce.
Yeah, and that's something you rarely see at the highest level, where you have back-to-back return errors from, you know, the partners. They're usually so good at kind of recognizing, all right, I need to pick my partner up, or my partner needs to pick me up after they missed return.
Oh, that's too good, and they have a miscommunication for one of the first times, and they squeezed that game out, Leon and Muoio, and that's what they needed, obviously, just to even stay in this set there. So that was our first set point. Actually, that was not our first. That was 3 set points there for Christian and Irdoja in that game that were saved from Leon and Muoio.
I almost feel like Leon and Muoio stole that game.
They did. They did.
Know?
They did. You know, they gave it to him to get it there, and then it was a little Christian and Irdoja kind of gave it back a little bit, because they missed a couple of wide volleys going for winning shots that were not so simple. Like, you know, they were tough.
Do you think that was a winning volley, or they're trying to stay away from that middle volley that's Mick Irdoja's getting slapped around with Mick Irdoja's forehand? Yeah. I think a combination platter there.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, you can argue that. All right, so 5-2 here. Christian Irdoja trying to close out this first set. And then, of course, after today, we are going to have both the men's and women's finals, so looking forward to that for tomorrow, 10 o'clock. And it should be terrific. In the other semifinal, we have Hansen and Mendel against Jorge Andrade and Salazar. So that result will be up there, and they're going to be, one of those teams will be on the other side on the men's side. And on the women's side, Morgan Sikora, and that was excited to see Charlotte Sikora out here. You know, when I saw her last, and Aronimik, she had hurt herself, you know, and it looked to me like she was going to be out for 3-4 weeks. It's hard to tell, as did actually also, you know, Florentina Hanisch. And it turned out that, and when I talked to Hanisch after, she said her injury wasn't going to be that bad, and it turned out it was that bad. And it looks like Sikora's.
Was that a calf injury?
Yeah, it was like a meniscus thing, and you know, for Hanisch and for, you know, Sikora, it felt like she was going to be out for a little bit, but she's right back out here and in the finals here tomorrow against a really, really good young team. Obviously, you know, Thea Page has arrived, you know, being a finalist last year's Nationals, and Emila Saric, who's a very good young, you know, player, great lefty from Long Island. So should be a terrific matchup there. cut there, but a challenging serve there from Christian, and Muoio just, Leon just a little late. This is it wide. That, at this crucial moment, I don't know. See, this is what I mean by tightening it up. I get you want to play loose and you want to do different things.
Yeah.
But at 5-2 and you're just trying to build a little, to hit a cut back winner from the backcourt with a team at the net. Just not sure.
I'm sure that'll be the one. He looks back and probably feels like might want that one back.
It's tricky though, because you want to play the game with flair and style, and if and you have to have interest playing it. And and for some players, just hitting another lob, it doesn't work. Like there's a situation for Leon. He's going for a shot from a disadvantageous position. The ball's lower than the net.
Yeah.
He's at the service line. He's got to hit a perfect dink to just stay in the point. And he goes for it. A paddle purist would say don't. All right, so another set point here for Christian and Irdoja. But that said, it may be what, allows him to thrive and not get, complacent. So that's a decent opportunity there. Very different ball. Now that's a mistake because it gives him an opportunity around the post. Yeah. Great move there. Great look from Christian, and that finishes the first set.
We'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel with live streaming brought to you by ProFlight and match statistics provided by Court Director.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
Game blew my mind after 10 years.
Yeah. Welcome back to the APTA Tour. I'm Mike Raleigh alongside Brad Easterbrook at the Rolling Hills Country Club with this semifinal match between Christian and Irdoja and Leon and Muoio. Boy, after winning the first set, Christian and Irdoja, you see they won 64% of the total points played.
Yep, and it's, obviously all the statistics in their favor. Service games won, only 1 of 4, whereas it's 3 of 4. And as you would think, it's all in there. The sudden deuce wins, funny enough, went to Leon and Muoio. They won the only game that went to sudden deuce. The problem is that's, one of only 2 games that they won. It was really just a question of that whole first set to me, Mike, and I'd love you to chime in here, is just they got to tighten it up a little bit in certain spots. They have all the talent in the world, but they got to be more specific where the spots are going to play it. If Irdoja gets 4 in the middle of the court, basically you've already made a mistake, right? It's like you've already made a mistake, and they just got to tighten it up and then see the big points a little bit better. Christian and Irdoja they played a great set, and they played a good cohesive set too. You can see them looking for the right opportunities, lobbing the spaces, and then, it's a good job.
Well, yeah, and I think, to your point about just that Christian or Irdoja, they lost 2 games in that set. One game, Christian
faulted
new ball
3
and
times.
Faulted 3 times,
yep.
Right? The other game,
they were up 40-15. Yeah.
And so, I would say that, for Leon and Muoio to really start to work, like you said, we've got to keep the ball away from the center of the court for Irdoja's forehand. But it's easier said than done.
Sure.
He's such a force in the backcourt, but the fact that force is so strong, you can't afford the other errors, that aren't the unforced errors.
Right,
because
you're talking about going for that big cutter shot from the backcourt while the other team's at the net, right? And those players in those plays in the last game there. Yeah, we just got to take those off the plate and just get a little more precise, and they can be right in this. I mean, it's not a question of actual
skill
or talent, really. Right at the crease, doesn't get it. Easily played there from Leone. So again, I'm Brady Sprick with Mike Raleigh here. Men's final, and another quick round of the players on the court. Top of your screen, Mick Irdoja, the lefty, in the cream-colored hoodie. Partner in all black, Paddle Ninja, Tomas Christian. And then the blue, Ethan Leone, and his partner, Matt Muoio. All four teaching professionals. Yeah, it was a fun draw out here, too, because you saw all sorts of teams in there. Jolene Sutter made a comeback today with Gabby Nicolescu, and it's good to see her in the draw. It's great to see Mick Irdoja back out here. It's great to see John Hughes back in the draw. So it was a fun draw out here.
Yeah, and I love this length of point to start the second set for Leone and Muoio. Win or lose, this is a statement,
See, Christian reads that one. He's there before Muoio even hits it. And they get it just by length of point there. Like you said, that's not a winning lob, but they stayed in it longer than they stayed in some of the others and played it more patiently. And they just draw, just a basic error. Hard overhead. Shot. I don't think I love any hard overheads against the back screens. This match.
It's yeah. Well, I really like that play from Leone.
Yeah, he snuck it behind him. Good get there. He just didn't hit a very good drop, actually, to be honest. I mean, but it was good play. That's why. Kind of a turnaround now. So teams like Leone and Muoio, if I'm Leone, I call him off that. I'm like, that's mine. And I'd move to the middle when he's getting turned around like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just another perfect play that tries the turnaround drive, but he's just right in stride. He just stuffs it at Muoio. Great serve there from Leone. You can hear Christian yell help there. Great call. Any ball going at the crease, that should be a help call too. These guys are going after it.
And what is the reason for the help? What is he asking help with?
Yeah, anytime basically you're not. So when I'm playing the screens, if I'm not 100% sure, I usually want to be 100% sure. That's a great shot right in the crease. No help coming, just too good, comes out hot. I want to be 100% sure it's going to the side screen or 100% sure it's going into the back screen, so I can play a regular side back or a back side screen. And anytime I'm not, that means I'm not sure which it's going to hit first. So in those cases, I'm going to commit to going up the line. I'm going to ask for help. And if I'm wrong one way, my partner helps me in the middle, and I've got the line covered. So it just allows you to get everything almost, unless the ball hits right in the crease and shoots at a different angle. But you can get probably 85% of the balls in the crease too if you do it the right way. And it's a crucial thing, and there are even some teams, and I would say if you're not a master at that, you'll never win a national championship. Like, there are some teams that are in the top 10 that I still think need work on that. Like, they're letting their partner just try to get them all, and they're waiting over here instead of calling help. And it's crucial. I don't think you know, because everybody's getting so good at hitting it right at the crease, you can't afford it. You have to cover it. He got him that time. He goes for the big one-handed topspin.
Wow.
That was great.
That was fantastic. Yeah, and I think, we did in kind of teeing that up for you, that they're not asking for help on calling whether it's going to be a one screen or a two screen, but it's more of a, hey, heads up, this ball may be coming your way to the middle of the court, and you better be ready to help, right?
Right, yeah, no, absolutely, and you're gonna cover the line. So you're just making sure your team can cover either eventuality because you're not sure what it's gonna be.
Yep, because that ball can kick straight down the side screen or to the center.
Oh, that's gonna work. Yeah, good thinking, blitz. That's good. Pace change there. He just dinks it. It looks like he's going to snap it or do something different. He basically just fluffs it into the corner. But he does it with, and you know, deception is a huge part of the game at the high level. He's holding the paddle in a way where he could do anything with it. That's a great rip there. Christian doesn't miss too many of those, but Leon just stuffs the backhand. I think Leon's backhand might even be better than his forehand.
Seems to be like it comes off, you know, quicker.
It is quick.
Bam.
It's so short. His forehand's a little longer. His forehand's really good, but the backhand's quicker and more deceptive because of that. See, they're not helping themselves there. The first shot was great. The second shot had to be a lob. They went drive again, and Christian's a half an inch from the net.
Yeah.
You can see Irdoja just holding those overheads. He's waiting. Now he's just going to push that. Yep, but he don't know exactly where until the last moment. Makes it hard to set up. And it makes you have to think a little bit about it.
Well, the whole idea is he's never letting them get comfortable in the backcourt, right? And that's kind of the #1 goal when you're hitting overheads is put the ball in positions that make our opponent uncomfortable. Here we are, 1-1 in the second set. Christian and Irdoja won the first set 6-2.
I think he wants to hit one. Or check it out to see if there's anything about it. He approves. Let's go. Matt Muoio to serve. 1-1. Second set. Matt Muoio's the first just true flat underhand serve that I've seen, you know, go to this high level. And I think it's actually, if anything, slightly more effective than the one people are trying to roll in there. It's no bones about it, but he keeps it low enough. And it's just a nice straight line. There's no setup to it that, like, you know, you see people hit that topspin, they have to come up on it, then they're running forward. He's literally walking forward and pushing it in. He's moving in there. And
he's almost...
No, go ahead.
Almost beating it to the net. Almost beating it to the net.
Yeah.
Right.
And as you mentioned in the beginning, the one thing you worry about is whether they're going to tee it up. See, there's perfect play, and another perfect lob. You know, is whether the opponents are going to tee it up at your partner at the net. But outside of one or two, really no big deal. They've been able to be okay with it. Good choice. Nice lob. Sneaky ball, and he catches Irdoja sleeping on that. Just a little push backhand. It's a phenomenal shot because he totally fooled him. Ah, reaching volley. Pinal. It's going to go out. Yeah, top of the net long.
Bummer.
It's a bummer. You've been there? You've been there.
Absolutely.
When you're like, you strike it so well, and it goes out. Oh, all right. Keeping it low. And Irdoja, 2 forehands in a row. You don't see that very often. He's got one of the most automatic ones out there. It's good. And definitely getting a couple more misses out of, you know, Christian and Irdoja so far in this opening set. And then in the second set, opening of the second set. Well,
because I think that Leon and Muoio are staying, you know, they're getting into the points, staying in the points, doing a better job of kind of laying the points here. So.
Yeah, and I think you said it right. They started the set with a good long point, and they sort of just got an easy, loose error out of an Irdoja overhead because they played just a good long point. And I think that's part of what they're going to have to do and continue to do. And there you see in that game right there, Irdoja definitely forced a couple too many, made a couple of mistakes for him. So that's huge for them. 2-1 now for Leon and Muoio.
And I think we should shout out to some of the volunteers and people that made this event. We already mentioned, you know, Macy and Jeff, but you know, Peter Sidney, he's in charge of the logistics and all the volunteers, as well as Sarah Goodwin, and Lisa Sloats. They put together all the players' stuff, and I mean, Sharon Beecher was in charge of signage and player support. Jim Beecher, part of the website team. You know, they've raised over $50,000. That's just 29 sponsors. Pretty amazing. And then, of course, the GM, Steve Revelin, assistant GM, Lade Mahaye, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and our superintendent, Glenn Perry, and chef, Harrison Schaefer. I mean, those, you know, as we know, being both in the business, that, you know, without a great staff, support staff, assistant GM and GM, and without them, events like this don't happen. So congratulations to Macy and her entire team.
Yeah, it's a great job there, Mike. You're absolutely right. There you can see a good bail. Ooh, little leg cord. It'll work. And right back at net. Leon trying to take over a little more court. I will say the one difference is offense, you know, control and sort of pushing it around. They got to find a way to get Leon more involved. Like, you know, so he can bring his offense more. He's also standing in the middle here. He's trying to find a way to get more involved. They can go at Muoio more. Like, he's going to do that. I'm not even sure what the point of that is. Again, like, what are they going to, he thinks they're going to let it bounce. I'm not sure what it is. But, you know, he can hit that three-quarter drive, but it's not a damage drive. It only works if he gets a setup, and Leon's starting to feel like he needs to press here. But as long as they keep staying patient.
You notice that it's a lot easier.
Heck of a shot there from Irdoja. That's phenomenal volley. He sees Leon pressing forward, and he hits a little slivered shot right to the side. He gets a big round of applause.
You know, and you see, though, where Muoio is, it's harder for Christian and Irdoja to keep the ball, to play keep away with Leon when he's lobbing, but his probing drives, those little chip drives, the volleys are what's getting him, you know, Leon involved in the points a little more, and him able to come in to the middle of the court and hit.
30-15. It's going to be a little long. Camping out towards the middle of the court. They could blitz again.
Brad, I want to take a second to give a shout out to someone that has recently joined our broadcast team, Mitch Granger.
Great.
Recently had some, hopefully he's watching, he had some health issues that he's working through, and we're thinking about you, Mitch, and speedy recovery. So goes Irdoja again.
Yeah, his forehand is so good. I mean, to me, it's one of the most automatic forehands that there's been on the tour in the last 5-10 years. Just, he's rarely misses it. Unless he's pressing a little, just doesn't miss it. He hits it off the green, he holds it. It's with power, easy power, right? You know, like, it's like you're standing there and they just wax it, right? But some guys, it looks like they're hitting it hard. He's just hitting his forehand. You know, it's the easiest thing in the world, and he spots it well with that lefty action. That's great playing.
God, he puts that constant pressure.
It's pretty effortless screen drive. So, you know, he's the full package. I mean, there's no question. He's already a national champion one time. And there's no question if he comes back out, that's going to be wide. It's just those little errors, right?
Yeah.
You know, if he comes back again, he's always a threat to win a national championship. Took basically a couple of years off. I think that was long. Score.
That happened so quick, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, and the score hasn't updated, so what is it? All right, 30-15 called out, right? Question. It looked out long to me, but it's really, you're so nonchalant about it. That's a good ball off to the side, that hard one. Anytime you can make Irdoja move like out of his corner towards the center, you're doing a good thing. So it just gives you a little more space to deal with. Waterfall on Christian, good idea.
I got a text from Jeff right now, who was came to Chicago, but when he was out in Philly, he said that Muoio was hitting that. He started it a couple years ago when Jeff was back out in Philly, and he said it really makes the receiver think about receiving when Muoio hits that cut lob, cut ball from the baseline. That you really have to kind of manage the shot, and the spin can cause it to do kind of crazy things. So it's a way to, I think, keep the net players a little more honest and make them think. And also, he said it tends to come off of the paddle.
Well, it's going to go straight down off the paddle. I mean, it seems like.
Yeah, and then if they overhit it, it comes off the screen. He said, and it gives them a screen drive, but it hasn't seemed to be effective. I think maybe it's the weather. You know, it's colder. And
it could be. It also is like, you know, Thomas Christian is right on the net. I think if a guy's a little off the net, then it could work, right? If somebody's right on the net where there's almost nowhere to hit it even down into the net, I just don't. I don't see it as a viable thing. But I do understand all those pieces of it. That's great.
Speaking
hands.
of right on the net, boy, Irdoja had his chin and.
Yeah, those perfect lob volleys. Smart play from Leon there. Don't challenge a guy when he's right there.
Wow.
And
boy, that was a bit of a bait ball, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
He baited Christian into driving that, and he stepped up and stuffed him.
Stuffed it right behind him. It was a great play. 30-all, big point here. They've done a great job playing a little bit better pace in this game here. Leon and Muoio. Good move from Christian. Got him. That's a great play. Closed up and stuffed it behind there. Some game point here. Leon and Muoio staying a game ahead. Been able to hold every game. They only got one service game in their first set. Oh!
Whoa!
I
Hello,
just missed
Carol.
it. I wonder if he lost it in the lights a little bit. All right, so they're going back to Christian, and here we have our second no-ad game point. Going with the lob. Good in play. It's a tough, pretty challenging serve from Leon.
Go back to the lobs and test that Leon overhead. It's got to be a little skittish, I think. It's like hitting a hosel rocket on the golf course, right? I mean, what a volley. I like that play.
With the crease. Oh, good dig from Muoio, and he missed it wide.
Oh,
I think he thought it might be going out, and he hesitated on his hit, and he was going to let it go for a second, and then at the last second he hit it, and that's a big, big hold there from Leon and Muoio. So 3-2 for them.
fifth game. Orient is excited to partner with the APTA because whether as advisors to our members or as members themselves, they are already part of the APTA community. Learn more at www.corient.com, the official wealth sponsor of the APTA.
All right, so that was a big moment there. Yeah, Christian definitely looked like he hesitated. Thought the ball might be going wide. I think it was going to go in, but that's why he missed that ball. Yeah, he just had a moment. Indecisiveness.
Well, Brad, I think this is a little bit more of what I'd expected. I'm not surprised that we're at 2-3. Irdoja serving at 2-3 in the second set here. And we got much more back and forth. I'm really, as a fan of the game, I'm glad to see this set is really kind of how it's taking shape here.
Yeah, no question. Leon and Muoio, I mean, they're in the semifinals for a reason. They deserve to be here. They're the second seeds here. They're a really good team, and as you said before, they've arrived. They've done a much better job in the second set. Like before in the first set, basically Irdoja was just blasting balls through them, right? Here in this set, they have been able to close off the net and actually put 3 or 4 drives that Irdoja has hit behind them. And, it's made all the difference in the world. That was a great hold there at the last second. And they're making it work a little harder.
Yeah.
Right at the crease. Ah, just Christian just standing on the net. That's a smart play there from Irdoja. When you see a player inside the baseline, it's tempting to try to hit it down at them, right? Just go at them. But you want to hit it through them, like through their feet, right? Don't just actually hit it at them. Like, see right there, that's through Muoio's feet as he's inside the baseline. He's not hitting it down at him, because that ball, if you hit it down at him, it bounces up and it actually gives him a spike. That's a perfect ball. They did it 2 or 3 times.
Point. Got a score update from court director Pardo de Andre and Salazar. Won the first set 6-3 over Hansen and Mandel. They're up 1-love, 40-love.
All right, and you can hear, I don't know if you hear it, speakers here, the music in the background, Tangled Vine playing there. It is, you mentioned before, all the volunteers out here making a great fan experience. It really is out here. It's a party. And it's a good time, and it's a cold winter day. I think it's like, it feels like 20 degrees. It had no effect that I've seen at all on any of the play. They're able to compress and spill the ball still enough, but it's.
I mean, how many nicks is, how many corners is Irdoja hit? 6?
Yeah, probably.
Least,
but he's
right?
very, very good at it. He's got it down.
2
where
serves.
He's going to be right there. Ooh, danger shot. Yeah, that's amazing hands from Leon. Oh, that time he gets him reaching. Did that hit the top of the net? Hard for us to tell. It was a monster.
I would like to think it would, yeah. Great overhead from Christian, that third panel slam.
Oh, just hammered. Yeah, that's danger. Yeah, he got him there. That was tough play there from Christian, and Leon made him pay. Great shot. Yeah, they're doing a much better job closing off the drives, Leon and Muoio. They're starting to make him pay here and there. We saw in that from court director in the stats that they lost. They only went 36% of the points in the first set. Here it's got to be about dead even, don't you think, Mike? Probably like 50-50.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Actually, interestingly, I just pulled it up. Second set summary so far, 3-all. Leon and Muoio have only won 44% of the total points.
Really?
Which is,
but they got that one game at, yeah, they probably have had a couple of games, Christian Irdoja, that they served out at Love or 40-15, and Leon Muoio had that no-ad game. Yeah, so I'm not surprised, but it's more even than the first.
Yeah, we've had 0 breaks of serve, as you did mention earlier.
Christian, good move, goes off pace drive, but Leon right there to stuff it back. See, this is where the difference is. They're doing a much better job. Like when Irdoja was coming to the middle of the court, they weren't making him pay for getting out of position. They are now much more so. He was able to dictate with his forehand rather than get the errors. And I haven't really seen Christian unleash a forehand. He's hitting like 3/4 drives. Oh, that's a big one right there. It's a great transition ball there from Muoio. Right at him he goes. That's going to do it. Beautifully done with a fist pump there for Leon. Well earned. Great shot. 30 love. Great spot. Oh, slippery. He saw the opening, just lays it in there. That's a great point, Mike.
This is a little bit of everything.
Ooh, let court, he's got a bail. Oh, and then he comes back in. I think he missed it. No, he didn't. Okay. Oh! That was a terrific point. A lot of transition. Great plan. Lower than the net drive. Not the simplest thing in the world. And he was trying to hit that around Muoio to his left side, which is a little higher part of the net. That gets in the way, so 40 love here from Leon and Muoio.
Wow. Did Leon whiff on that, or did he intentionally let it go? I couldn't tell there, Brad.
I'm not sure either.
That's a good eye either way.
Whatever works.
That's so right.
Yeah, he's not telling. I've been there a few times too, and that's great. We got our court director up here, so percentage of points won, Christian Irdoja 51%, and that's a love game that you said it was only 44%. Brings it right back to basically almost dead even. And they're up 4-3 more importantly. So no breaks of serve in this second set, whereas we had 4, I believe, in the first set. So great job as they've been able to kind of right the ship a little. Good quick little switch there by shutting down a lot more of the Irdoja drives. I mean, basically, he had his way with them in the first set with his forehand drive. And in this set, they're bringing it down to about 50%. You know, he's missing a few, but also they're getting in play and closing off the net better, and it's sort of making him force it a little bit more. And it's just been a huge difference.
Well, I think, too, that they're a little less, you know, there's a little less shock and awe.
Calling it out. Confirmed there by...
a little less shock and awe.
Yeah.
A little long there.
Good lob choice there. He's got that one. Yeah, that one, Christian fell into it. Instead of pushing the ball deeper, he hit it down, and Muoio's running in. He knew the spike was coming. That's a tough volley position there for Irdoja. So a little opportunity here. Leon Muoio stretch the lead possibly to 5-3. Get this point. They'll have 3 break points. Leon, he's trying to take more space. That time they make him run. They made him pay that time. Great job.
And I like how, if you notice there, Christian was going back for the overhead, and we got Irdoja almost mirroring Leon's movement to the middle of the court and covering that, you know, and able to volley the ball in behind him.
Yeah, it's a great play. The other part I'd like to see a little bit some of the time is I'm not sure that it should be Leon going back to get that. If I'm Muoio and I see him move up and in front and doing what he's doing, when that ball goes side back like that, I'll just move behind him and take it and call him off and make a quick switch in the backcourt.
It's a good call. Go a little more eye formation.
Yes,
Start it.
yes, start it, get to an eye there. Leon's basically taking the entire middle of the court in that situation, right? And things are only going to go by him on the edges. He shouldn't have to cover the edges. That's a good move.
You know,
really
I think when we get deeper into the set here, this is where we start to see kind of tendencies, both positive and negative, are magnified. You know, so it'll be interesting to see in the next game or two if we have some of those uncharacteristic, you know, choices or poor choice or poor decisions.
Yeah, you're saying like going for a shot at the wrong time. But what I love that Muoio and Leon have done here is Leon knows he's got to be ready. So he's in the middle of the court. Now, he is in a position sometimes to get the ball hit behind him, but he's also in a position to just get a lot more balls. So it's a less passive game style for them, and it's allowing them to get more offensive opportunities. Good defense there. All right, they get it back to righting the ship, making them chase some more. This is paddle. Just getting it back, scraping one more.
Love that play from Christian to play the ball in behind Leon, who's playing so far forward and so far to the middle.
Well, a lot of this match has been, you know, guys, if they have the ability to read that ball and close off the net, there have been a lot of damage done by that closing volleyer. Great point. Look at Leon again, standing way in front, right in the baseline, looking to swallow up the middle. Muoio's going to keep lobbing until he gets a ball that he thinks he can hit down a little bit. Oh, just missed it long. Great point for those guys, though.
That was it, yeah.
And it's applying a lot more pressure to Christian and Irdoja. So the two things that have happened in this set, they're shutting down the pressure more. That's out. We got a game point here. Chance for 5-3. They're going to go to Muoio. She has faulted a couple of times today. Oh, sneaky. Great lob volley. Tremendous. Just get out of trouble and get out of dodge. The one-hander through the middle. That's a mistake from Muoio. The turnaround drive, but he's right there on the net. And it gets volleyed behind. What a big moment for all instead of 5-3. Two huge no-ad games played back-to-back.
That's why, I mean, I love the sudden death no-ad points. It's high drama.
Drama. Yeah, that was a great point. I think they can play this way too. I don't think, because Leon can stand on the middle of the court and hit his backhand, you know, and reach out with there, and you can clearly see they're trying to keep it away from him. Right? They don't want him involved more, and he's inserting himself whenever he can by standing in the middle. And he's looking, he's waiting right near the hash mark. They're going to switch back. Nope. And they're going to keep going at Muoio just because they know he doesn't have quite the same firepower off the deck. But Moyo's going to keep staying steady until he has a ball that he can maybe dink down at them to try and get, you know, more involved. And he's just positioning himself in a good way there. That was a tough one. Sort of fading away. He got a little impatient, I think.
It's harder for Irdoja to assert his overheads into the deuce corner, into the ad corner, being a lefty. You know, that's another thing. So they neutralize a little bit. Wow.
Nice. What a shot there from Leon.
Leon's got to throw that lob up there.
That was a slippery ball there from Christian. He held it, and he went inside out, down into a backside, and it spun right near the wire. It's just a great ball, 30 love. Oh, great volley there. Gets behind Irdoja. It's like you can feel the urgency from the players here as we get into this second set, right? It's, you know, for Leon and Muoio, it's do or die. And for Christian and Irdoja, they want to close this thing out. They don't want to go 3.
But you notice too, I mean, Irdoja in the first 3 points has really kind of asserted himself.
Yeah, it's like he ramped up another little half a degree, right?
Yes.
Great roller there. There we go. Good close off of the net there. In the first set, they were not doing that. Great job there. Long.
Oh.
Wow. All right, 30 all. Firing, but they're right there. Good job, though. Much better positioning at the net for those guys. Now when he's got, beautifully done. The dink and blitz pays off that time.
See another deuce point here, Brad?
I do, actually. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. Christian?
Not rooting against anybody.
Nobody, no.
Just
want to see the drama. That's great. No, it really has made it. I think it's been an amazing change. And as you were bringing it up, you know, you and I called a 5-hour-plus match. I called 2 5-hour matches last year.
It was both of us, brother.
Yeah.
You and me both.
Like, and,
together.
You know, and the change had to happen, you know, and they were discussing all sorts of things to be, you know, get a different ball, different compression where, you know, just the ball won't be as lively, so it's harder to get it up as much, you know. And, you know, and they decided on this, and I think it's just absolutely a perfect call. And, of course, they're not using this format in the women's game because they weren't having that issue. And I also think it's made the game more fun. There's more dramatic points, as you mentioned, and if you're a player who is just consistent, like as your #1 weapon, there it is. Again, the close off of the volley making all the difference in the world in this set. Great job from Leon as he hurts Irdoja. First set it wasn't going that way. 5-4 now for Leon and Muoio. It makes all the difference in the world. And those teams that want to like use the mental game where they're going to lob and never miss and lob and never miss, and they're going to force you to go for more, and you just can't do it as long, and you can't do it infinitely. So it also helps those teams whether, you know, they can play 1 or 2 long points. They don't have to play 75 in the same vein, right? So it just makes a huge difference. So it actually benefits a team that sort of can manage that a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think in talking with the players, you know, you had said it earlier, I haven't heard any complaints about it.
I think people love it. All right, so Leon Muoio have held every single game, and they are up 5-4 here in this incredibly entertaining second set. An amazing job. Started turning the offense of Christian and Irdoja against them and forcing some errors that they weren't able to do in the first set, and all the difference in the world. And also, you can see Ethan Leon asserting himself in the center of the court more, just sort of squeezing the spaces that Christian and Irdoja can go as well. Increasing his position, it's also making it easier for them to see when the next ball's going and allowing them just to play more. And they don't get the freedom to hit anywhere. And you would think they could just hit it behind him more, and they have a few times, but it's not so simple. They're lobbing well enough, spotting it in there, and that's just a great overhead from Christian. And anytime they try to do that, they run the risk of overhitting it to the back screen, then he gets a screen drive. Or if they leave it a little short, now he's going to be able to take a drive off it. He has very quick.
He's in that short hop and that two-hander
yes,
too. Yeah.
His two-handed short hop is phenomenal. Just a turnaround miss there. Great shot there from, and then when we saw that, just that short backhand there, it's just a little quick flip right down the line on Christian. 15-all, just a fantastic serve. That's 3 or 4 in the nick there from Irdoja. If you see it going there, you really just have to block it. He's not even going to go for a lot on the return, but the problem is he's not getting a strike. He's not even able to hit it because it just bounces away.
He can't call for. You can't call.
No
for
help on the
on the
return or serve. That's right.
Oh, dirty all.
All right, so Pardo de Andrade and Salazar on to the finals with a 6-3, 6-2 win over Hansen and Mandel. Great tournament for Dan Hansen and Ned Mandel. That's a good spot. And Christian, who's been cutting off so many of those, and it is set point for Leon and Muoio. Here we go.
Double set point.
Yes,
Brad.
that's right. If we go to deuce, and he's got him. Oh, what a flip turnaround. He's going to go lob volley. Hands! Oh, Muoio and Leon take it down 6-4.
Boy, oh boy. That is the game in second set for Leon and Muoio, and we will be back for the third set after these words from our sponsor.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. I'm here with Brad Easterbrook. I'm Mike Raleigh. The Rolling Hills Country Club with the semifinal round between Christian and Irdoja and Leon and Muoio. We are set apiece. We're all tied up.
Let's see the court director's stats, Mike. Let's see what we got here on that second set.
Geek, I love this stuff.
Yeah, it is phenomenal. So, you know, all the way down there, at one point you said, I think it was 3-all, and they were at 44%. Leon and Muoio just eking it out there at the end there. A couple of huge points, you know, and that game, they were 5 for 5, able to hold their service game every time, and then finally, you know, they were able to break them at the end there, and it happens with two just sublime, like, perfect short hop backhands. He's such a quick backhand, Leon, and he just catches some amazing hands for Christian and Irdoja just to survive 2 or 3 once they, you know, took the net, but he finishes it with a cutter. Just fantastic stuff.
Yeah, you know, I think in that second set, I'd like to tip my cap to Muoio there. You know, he had a couple real timely little chip blitzes and came in and put a lot of pressure on the volleys of Christian and Irdoja. And to me, that was the difference in the match. I mean, you know what, or in the set, you know what you're going to get from Leon, but Muoio, he hurt him with some of those little sneaky blitzes.
He did indeed, and you know, and as a team, they also made great adjustments. You know, Leon pushing himself into the middle more, forcing and squeezing the court a little bit. All difference in the world. We're going 3 here. So Leon and Muoio, you know, as you said before, they've arrived on the scene. You know, they're seated second here. When I saw the draw, Christian Irdoja was my early pick for this tournament. Everybody's given everybody exactly, you know, what the fans want. Just a great match with some incredible shot making. Now, do you think for Christian and Irdoja that there's anything that they, you know, did wrong, or, you know, there were a couple of games definitely in that second set where I felt Irdoja pressed, you know, like 2 or 3 missed drives, and they haven't, like, they're going about their business. They had some close opportunities there, and to me, it's more like they just didn't adjust as well to the adjustments that Leon and Muoio made. You know, they basically are cutting down the net more, and they were basically, I mean, how many times do you think, you know, the court director stats are great, but they don't show specific things. Like, how many times do you think Leon and Muoio won a point with Leon and Muoio closing off the net and volleying it behind Irdoja or Christian? How many times do you think that happened in that set?
5?
Yeah, 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and, and how many times that happened the first set was basically like 0-1, right? You know, and that, you know, there's all these little stats that are just the differences in what happened out there.
Well, I think the one indicator of that is obviously the score, but the through balls off of Irdoja's forehand, whether it was off the back screen or off the deck, you know, where he was able to drive the ball through the team, that didn't happen as much as it did in the first set. And I think, you know, you asked, well, is there an adjustment that we should be expecting from Christian and Irdoja? Maybe throw in for Mick on some of those balls that he had been driving, the secondary drives.
Lob, like a quick little sneaky, you know, lob.
Yeah, and to give it a different, you know, give it, just when they're so close on the net, the percentages aren't there.
All right, so Christian and Irdoja. Let's see how they react here in this second set. And while the players get off and go get a break and get a drink and quick bathroom break, our intrepid umpire, Carol Everson, is up in that chair. And she's done an amazing job out here. So kudos to her and to all the umpires. All right, so Ethan Leone to start, his partner Matt Muoio. And there we go with Nick Irdoja returning and his partner at the bottom of your screen. Again, the top of the net and long, Tomas Christian, and on Brad Eastbrook with Mike Raleigh. Start of the third set here in the men's semifinal. Christian seemed to have put his offense in his back pocket a little bit too. Like he could take a crack at that one, but he's sort of like there. That's the first one he's unloaded on, I think, in the whole set. You know, that whole second set.
Yeah, and I think that his offense is going to set up Irdoja's offense as well. So he can't crawl into a, he's got to continue to hit when he gets it.
I think that ball
Nice
tipped
ball
the
from
net.
Irdoja.
I mean, you could see Leone get right there, and I think that thing just tipped the net and went right over his paddle. Great transition drive there from Muoio. Watch it right in the crease. That's a beauty. Oh, he got it. That's going to work. He's there. That backhand is so good from Leone. It's just so quick. That's the biggest difference. He's got a good forehand, but the forehand you sort of see it coming. You have no idea where he's hitting that backhand.
Yeah, he seems to take that backhand too off the, on the short hop. He can step up into the court. We saw him basically win the second set on that shot.
Yeah, two of them. Yeah, incredibly good shots. Big points. Oh, but that time, instead of closing in the way he had been doing, he sort of stepped back, ends up with a tough half volley. 30-15 now, Christian Irdoja. Yeah, Christian going for a little more on the offense, and that's just a beauty right there. Perfection from Leone. He's hit 3 or 4 of those cut finishers. Oh, fade away from Irdoja. It's a tough shot to go for at a big moment. This is it in the net. 30-all point. It's a game point for Leone and Muoio. They've held 5 times in a row. So getting broken every time except once in the first set. Again, we're just 1 point away from a possible no-ad game here. We've had 3 so far, and it's 2-1 for Muoio and Leone in that department, winning the no-ad games. Great blitz. He gets what he wants, kind of a medium pace overhead, and just misses it. Gets it just low enough. All right, so another no-ad game point here. And pretty much whenever it's happened, both teams have exclusively gone to the slightly less offensive player. There's danger. What a get, but no deal. Great job. They had a miscommunication. When Muoio went behind him to get that ball, he's on Leone's side of the court. Leone should have switched to the other side. He didn't. And that allowed Christian to close in and volley behind, and it's just too far of a reach for Muoio. Great job.
That was the first break.
Yeah, first break, 5 games in a row they held, and a great job there. And just like a little unfortunate lack of positioning, awareness there, because I think they'd still be in that point if Leone had switched. see Leon and Muoio keep that same intensity and the focus. They started that second set off with a couple of really good long points. I think Leon again still looking to assert himself in the middle of the court.
And that position of Leon in the center of the court, he's almost baiting Tomas Christian to hit that, hit that overhead into the backhand.
That's a huge ball there from Muoio, and he is, and it's super dangerous. We've seen how quick he is with the trigger on that backhand and how good he is at taking off the rise. That's a beautiful lob there, perfect lob. He's got a lob that good. Irdoja, it's not the ball to drive. I think to me that's one of the crucial things is not that Irdoja's got to hit less forehands, but he's got to choose his forehand slightly better in this game, in this set. Great shot there right into the crease. Perfect ball. There's the quick, slippery backhand. Cutter, just perfection. Just perfection.
Oh, baby.
And that's the one danger if somebody sees your off-pace drive coming. Like that one, he looked like he just got set up for it. He didn't quite put enough on it, so he had a lot of time to see it. Ooh, all right, 15-30. Same guy. Throwing in a fault, hitting a backhand cutter, it's the same thing.
It's a story of my life there. Hit the greatest shot of the match and then
I like that short volley there. You know, but they're doing a good job. And Leon, he's primarily lobbing the forehand, but he's throwing in the slap shot. They're making him think about it, right? And
yeah,
it's starting to have an effect, and it has been, you know, since the start of that second set. And as soon as he started increasing his position, it's just making him less comfortable at the net, able to see it. And it's just, I mean,
boy,
just
that might be one of the first errors. I mean, Muoio, I think he's made 2 errors in the last. He's playing it really.
Yeah, he just
pretty
missed it. I mean, it's a shot they're using to great effect. Not necessarily getting a winner every time, but just to keep these guys guessing at the net more.
Careful.
Yeah, it was close.
I mean, it just feels to me like this is such a big game for both teams.
That's wide. Great shot.
know.
Again, Christian has been cutting off some balls, but in the last kind of bunch of games, he's making these little feints, and it's thrown off Irdoja because he's cut off so many before. When he doesn't cut it off, Irdoja is thinking he is. So break point here. This would be huge for them to just get a break right back after losing that first game. Oh, just out. Now, so far they've exclusively served to either Muoio or Christian on these no-ad points. And they're going back to it again. So another no-ad game. It's 2-all in the no-ad game so far. We did say early on that it's sort of like, you know, a turnover battle. Whoever wins these big no-ad games is in the winning column. You know, is going to win the match most of the time.
Go ahead.
Boy, that's a good volley from Irdoja. He made that look easy, didn't he?
He did. It was
Got
shoelace
Leon.
volley.
Leon blitzing in.
As you mentioned before, Mike, they're just reticent to go behind him. They are once in a while going behind, like here, but it's just, it's a dangerous game. If he's able to cut it off, his backhand is so quick that it just gives you a little pause. You know, there were many times, you know, the great Hall of Famer Mark Parsons, where people were like, even if he's standing on the other side of the court, don't go to the backhand wire. You know, just don't. It's simply not. Even if you think you have it, don't do it. And
No-go zone.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's a little like that. You know, not quite the same, but it's, you know, Muoio's, he has that kind of backhand. I mean, Leon does. They found a rhythm with this, you know, like where they're executing their three-quarter drives. Like you said, Muoio's made very few errors in the last few games. He missed one in that last game, but he's been like pretty spot on, just putting it low. He's not winning points with it, but it's setting things up down the road, and that's a decent look for them. Huge hold there for Christian Irdoja. They had 30-40 Leon and Muoio, and that was a big deal. All right, little hole here, but still, what they've been doing is great. Just missed the ball here or there. It's also really fun to watch when you watch Muoio serve. Like, he goes into it, he starts walking, and he's basically pushing the ball, and literally the exact moment he's hitting it, his foot comes down right after it. It's almost exact. It's like what you want in terms of like getting into the net. And like you said, it makes him have the ability to sort of almost beat it in there.
Well, in order to make that volley, you've got to have perfect position as well as great hands, you know. But if he's off the net, if he's not, you know, properly positioned, there's the odds of him making that first volley are slim and none.
Yeah, he's well inside the service box. And the good thing about it is it really doesn't allow them to hit the ball down. That's a great spotted lob there. I'm surprised Christian didn't move up the wire on the first one. Let's see, I'd have Christian move up the wire here on that. But in the first game, Christian got more aggressive. I'd like to see him continue that a little bit. Oh, goes for the big turnaround drive that time.
Feel that Irdoja on his drive is hitting it primarily, you know, into one spot. I feel like if he changed his spots, not dramatically, but you know, a few more down kind of to the left hip of Leon when they're in this position.
Yeah, see, that's the danger drive there.
A lot of balls
yes.
through the middle of the court.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you spotting it. The one thing I do like, though, outside of that volley there, we almost saw Leon, you know, volley behind him there. They pretty much haven't had any of those. That's one of the stats I'm sort of looking at here. How many are they going to able to shut him down? I think he overdrove just a little too much. So as long as he's being, I mean, I don't disagree with you at all. If they had, you know, he could change his spots, that's great. But as long as he's not getting volley stuffed at him and they're a little less, you know, predictable in when they're coming, you know, that's, to me, going to be a key. That's just wide. Ah.
And that was a miss, all based on that heavy roller. You
Yep.
know, all that spin coming off his paddle. Muoio's paddle, it just caused an error right over it. Judicious bail. Oh,
That was a great
I like
job.
that move, though. I like that move.
That was a
Christian.
good move, and they had great hands, Muoio and Leon there. They just kept it low. Christian made a tough play on him, and they made a better one. Oh, all right. Here we go again. Another no-ad game.
If I was Christian, I'd go the exact same spot. Nope.
See that I like, where he's just making him think a little bit more. Smart Irdoja, not taking the bait on any of these, just continuing to lob, even though they're all forehands. Not the exact ball. This is a huge point. Wait for the right one. That's a bad play there. Great get, though. Right at the crease. Oh, Irdoja, a little flat-footed. Gets it, though. This one he's going to tattoo, yep. And wisely left. No chance to close that one off. They don't mind staying this way. They've never switched back when they've done this. I actually like this because, you know, Leon in the backcourt too has an inside-out backhand that he sort of can hit right in front of Irdoja. Able to get a big point on it in the second set. Game here, they're just going to say, go ahead and beat us. The drive, these just basic baiting balls. Not really even trying to move them around. I think they're trying to get him to hit it, Mike.
Like that lob from Irdoja.
Smart.
Basically giving up the net.
Yeah, that's a great point. Obviously, it's a huge point here for Leon and Muoio. I want to go down 3-love. That's the dangerous ball there, that when he gets too far over and Leon is closing it off. Hobbit, yep.
Boy, if you had a heat map of the placement of these overheads, it's fantastic placement. Leon and Muoio are up at the net, avoiding that hammer from Irdoja. Is that confirmed by the chair?
Yeah, I mean,
Clearly.
it was just like it got hit, and they just kind of put their hands on their hips, and that was it. It was such a great point that it was completely anticlimactic, actually.
Yeah.
It's just like, what a way to end it. But that's what, sometimes smart paddle is just like that. They didn't go for anything that was too far out of reach, and it just gets, just a basic ball. So great job for Leon and Muoio. That's huge. They don't go down 3-love. I think it's now 3 games all in the tally. Are they up 4-3 of the no-ad games? I'm not really sure at this point. We'll have to check out the court director on the next changeover. All right, Tomas Christian to serve. And a great down return there. And one of the first few missed volleys there on a first ball. It's the first error. Still down a break, though. Muoio and Leon, and there's a great dink and blitz there.
Great pressure.
Yeah, and they caught both balls under the net. They just got a little lax getting their position. So huge, good opportunity here to even this thing up. 2 big points right off the get-go, quickly. Ooh, right on the line there. Right in the crease. Just missed it.
So Brad, I pulled up court director first set. Leon and Muoio won sudden deuce point. It was 1-1 in the second set, and we are 2-1 for Irdoja and
so it's dead even. Yeah, dead even.
Dead even.
Serve is long.
It says double break point. It actually is triple break point with our.
Yeah, you always got to remember that. It's one more game point for the backcourt team. Oh, right on the line. He's going to have trouble tracking that down. He waited too long. Oh, he's calling it out. And it is confirmed by the umpire, so Irdoja makes the call. He didn't. I think he thought that it looked like a late call, but I think he thought Christian was going to call it out, and then he just didn't. And then Irdoja's like, no, that was out. Oh, big moment there. Another no-ad game point. And, of course, as we've seen all day, and letting that wisely go through. Great return downward from Muoio that time. Let's see if they switch back. The center of the court here is pretty tame. Yeah, there's the switchback, for Christian and Irdoja when they're playing that way with Irdoja in the ad. The edges are good, but the center's, pretty open.
Yeah, there wasn't quite the same offense.
Oh my God, he's going to drop it, but it's too hanging. Oh, too bad. Good opportunity, and then it's almost like a little mental blurb there. I think he was upset that he didn't finish it before, so it looked like it was a half-hearted cut.
A lot of times it's that frustration where you think that you've won the point on a great shot and it comes back, and you.
I mean, 2 huge swings, Mike. They're up 15-40, and then literally within like 30 seconds, it's game for Christian and Irdoja.
4 points in a row here, and Leon's facing a 1-3 deficit, serving at love 15.
He basically knew that volley was coming right there to the middle. As you said, he's been hitting him mostly down the center. He basically slap-shotted his drive back at him.
That drive came back with interest off that volley.
Yep, he swung volley it. That's how much he knew it was coming there. He just was like, I'm swinging at a forehand here. Yeah, it's hard for us in our angles here as we're watching this on the screen to tell if that clipped the net at all. But great ball there from Irdoja. And, as this thing goes on, it's going to be huge. They're going to look back at that game, 15-40 down, and then 30 seconds later, if Leon and Muoio don't pull this, aren't able to right this. Because you always look for these spots where you do something different than you've done before, right? And the way they got back into this was just starting to play a specific style where they were really consistent with probing drives and Leon going in there. And there, it's like, you know, they just went for 2-3 shots right away, and it quickly went. And that was just different from the way they were doing stuff before. I tell you, our producer crew doing an amazing job out here. It's been a long day for these guys. Just live streaming all day long. We're stuck, you know, amazing. Good 10 hours out here since 8 a.m. this morning. Setup time. Yeah, it's probably what time were you here this morning? 7:30 this morning doing the setup, and we're reaching into 7 o'clock now. So a full 12-hour day, and that's a fantastic play there. So kudos all around. It's okay, you can stay slumped in your chair. He's hanging on. That's wide, I think. No, not wide. Great play, 4-1. You know, it's funny about that games one. This is set 2 summary, of course, we're back to, where it was 6-4 for Leon and Muoio. Do we have a set 3 summary so far? Let's see if we can get that pulled up.
Ethan.
And here we go. So far, yes, 58% of the points. And, you know, it's just really, though, it happened in these little blurts, right? You know, we've had 3 sudden deuce, you know, games, and or 4 sudden deuce games in this set, and one of them, they're up 15-40, and those 3 points in a row just loom huge in 30 seconds here in this match. You switch those the other way, and it's a completely different turnaround. And the finish to that game also happened very suddenly, right? You know, they're playing a couple of points. It's just these couple of moments, because I think Leon and Muoio have done a great job. They got super consistent. We talked about how, you know, Leon has adjusted his position to get more involved. That's a great play in the crease there. And
you know, I think, Brad, where in the last couple games, specifically in the last 2 games, Leon and Muoio, it wasn't the forehand off the deck from Irdoja that hurt them, you know, and they were handling that. Where Irdoja hurt them in the last 2 games was the balls off the back screen.
Yeah.
And it was almost like they were revisiting the first set.
You know, they're hitting it hard off the back, yeah. All right, this is that one. So look, he's made it all along. Good cut off there. Now they're kind of just going for it, I think. They gotta dial it back to that situation there. Sometimes things go wrong and you try to get it right with 1 or 2 shots.
And it's not over, you know.
Oh, it's definitely not over. It's not even close. They just have to bring it back to the place they were, you know, when they're applying all that good pressure in the backcourt there. See, to me, there's like 2 or 3 shots here where that's not a ball that's applying pressure. That's just, I'm just going for it. You know what I mean? Like, before they were applying pressure with like 3/4 drive, 3/4 drive, then attack, then pressure, right? You know, and it was a little different. There's a big hit there, but that's a different ball. He's forward, moving into the court, inside the baseline. Great shot there. They gave him a nice ball to tee up. That is such a good return. That backhand is just phenomenal. You know, and Leon's got a good forehand, but that's the lesser evil. Yeah, you know, if I got to go anywhere, I'm going to the Leon forehand. That's
forehand doesn't cut
3
as deep.
huge bangers, and now we got break point. Look at that. That's 4 huge bangers. Let's make it there. Boom, 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 boom. 4-2. Great shot. All right, here we go. again, I watch all the players at home should watch how he's doing this. He's got this. He starts walking. Foot goes down. As soon as he hits it, it is so close to, like, you know, that margin of like what a foot fault is, but it's perfectly executed. You know, he's just in the air and he just puts it down as the contact is made.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like to be Carol Everton up in the chair and having to call and look for that foot fault, because it is, he does, I mean.
No, I think it's perfectly executed.
He
really
times
do.
it perfectly,
Yeah.
yes.
And there's no complaints from any of the players out there. If it was a real foot fault, these guys would be like, hey, he's foot fault. You know, there's no way Christian and Irdoja would be like, hey, watch this. You got to stop that. He's just doing it perfectly timed, and that's a beautiful spot there. Yeah.
5-point win streak.
Yep, nothing over at all. Yeah.
You know, and the crazy thing is that's 5 points in a row, one off of their drives in the
Huge
backcourt.
drives. See, I love that soft overhead there to Christian, because he's not feeling that, he's not teeing it up. You know, so if you have a go-to, that's your go-to. If you don't have anything better to play, softball deep. Oh, man. Not to be outdone, the one-handed, and I'd say it's a one-handed with flair. It's just like a full finish, the whole thing. I love it. It's a great shot.
I mean, outside of Irdoja, who else hits the one-handed backhand drive? I mean, we've seen him hit 7 or 8 today.
Yeah, he hits it a little more than most guys do. You know, Araya would, but more off the screen. You know, pretty much. Yeah, it's definitely right there. It was a great shot into the crease.
See it a lot,
He forced
right?
it in the air. That was out to me. Wow, curious. I'd love to see. Can we get a replay? No replay. Okay, tough one. To me, that ball looked out. Did you happen to see that one bounce? All right, so double break point, or triple, as we said, goes for the blitz, and that's what that serve does. He's not able, even though he hits it hard, he can't hit it down. So Muoio doesn't have to hit the volley up. He hits it straight. Now,
have to lift it to the
blitz.
blitz.
So he's still able to put enough on it.
Question for you, that no add points, more pressure for the serving team or for the return team?
You know, it's a great question. I feel like it's pretty even these days, because guys, you know, don't. You got to put the serve in. Wow. And he took that from under the net, and he just hit it right into the frame of Leon. It's just a great shot. It's a high risk, high reward shot, and it pays off, and what a big moment. All right, so service points 1 in this set. Christian Irdoja only 50%, you know, but to 42%. And we all know sets are decided by 3-4 points, many close ones. 5-2 now. No room for error really left for Leon and Muoio. They're going to have to tighten this thing up. And first it starts with a break, though. So, but they were able to start doing that and apply the right kind of pressure in that second set. Let's see if they can do it here. Ooh, that was a little sneaky little bump. A bump drive.
You think Muoio hurts him more off the deck or more off the screen?
Oh, I think if you give him a screen drive, you're making a mistake. He's very dangerous with that. Off the deck, he cat and mouses you really well, but it's not damage per se. You know what I mean? Like even there, like he cat and moused him, but he didn't. Well, he didn't win. You know, I'd like to. Yeah, but shots. It's yes, correct. And frequently they get. All right, so he went for the big return there. 30-love, 2 points from victory now for Christian and Irdoja. Oh, great hands. Muoio, big ball. Oh! No, he gets the reach. Yeah, he thought he could do something with it, but just too far out of his zone. He's looking back to see if Christian was. Yeah, Christian easily had that, and I'm not sure he thought he did at the time, which is part of the reason why he reached for it. 30-15. Yeah, good
I
read.
love that play from Christian. Great drive stopping.
Well, I think he's able to read it a little better because remember in the second set they were playing like one after another of these points that were also long. Then they would use these. So Christian had to kind of hang a little bit more off the net. They haven't been playing as many of those right now, so he's looking for it more, right? You know, I think that was so great in the second set. They got into a nice rhythm with what they were doing. Oh, goodness.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, let court, huge.
Oh, 30-all.
Christian's right there, but can't do anything about that. He's going to hit and bail wisely. Great return there from Muoio.
Going to switch in the backcourt. There it is. Got to be careful.
Yeah.
Irdoja forehand off the back screen has hurt them.
Good pace. Great close there. Leon. Oh, digging. Is Christian able to get there? No.
Are you?
Wow.
Two let courts here.
Great playing. That factor big.
You know,
yeah.
Yeah, huge factor.
30-15 down. And now they're got a break point. Smart bail. Ah, just don't give him that big screen drive. He just tattooed that.
Filthy.
All right, match point, break point coming into Matt Muoio. Tomas Christian serving here for the match. And that is long.
Wow.
It's a good setup, and congratulations, Christian and Irdoja punched their ticket to the finals.
Boy, I tell you, Brad, that was a fantastic match. You know, and wow, kind of speechless. It doesn't happen often.
No, it does not. You know, kudos to Carol Everton up in the chair, and yeah, it was a great match. It was kind of like they lost track of that rhythm that they had in the second set of getting those points, and also we talked about the fact that, you know, they were able to punch they were closing off the net and punching the Irdoja balls behind him in that second set. Made a huge difference in the points they were able to get, turning things around. And in that set, they got 0 of those points, primarily because they gave him a few too more off the back screen that he was able to tattoo, and they just didn't move the ball in the right spots. And it just got a little bit away from him in a couple of spots. But as you said early on when we started this thing, Leon and Muoio are seated second here. They're not, and I called them up-and-comers, and you're right, they're not up-and-comers. They've arrived. They're a great team, and it was just a great point overall. So total points, as you see from our court director, 84 to 69, so 55 to 45%, you know, and it was just a couple of moments here and there, but a terrific match. Any final words there, Mike?
Well, you know,
I really think I don't have much to say other than what a great match, and you know, it came down to a few points here and there. I love the no ad games, and we are looking at the men's and women's final tomorrow, 10 a.m. right here on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and that's pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting.
Calling it tomorrow, right?
We're calling it tomorrow, and again, we have exciting action. So tomorrow, our number 2 seeds of Morgan and Sakura on the women's side against a great team of Paige and Sarich. So that match on one of our live streaming channels, and on the other, Christian and Irdoja against Pardo de Andrade and Salazar. So it's going to be terrific action tomorrow. And I guess that's a wrap here for today here at the Fairfield Open here at the Rolling Hills Country Club. We'll see everybody 10 a.m. tomorrow. Thanks, Mike.
See you in the morning.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.